Oh, Miss Irie, what are you doing here?
Oh, I just got home from my night shift, so I was thinking of going to bed now.
Poor Hiroki is working so very hard right now, and you have the nerve to sleep? What a horrible wife.
Ma'am, I was on a night shift. I need to get some sleep or else it would affect my work tomorrow. Besides, Hiroki understands my work schedule very well. He wouldn't think ill of me.
That's not true. If he sees you sleeping peacefully when he's dead, tired, he must grow to hate you.
Is that so?
Besides, you're the wife. You wedded into this family. It's natural for you to take care of the home. Please don't be so lazy.
I'm not being lazy. Please, I want to rest. I literally just came back home from my night shift.
I'm not hearing these excuses. I bet you were just playing around all night.
That's not true. My name is Irie Yasuda. Because of my workplace, there are days where I would have to stay at the office throughout the night as a night shift. That's why on some days, I would come back home in the morning and sleep until noon. But it seems like my mother-in-law who lives with us doesn't understand this lifestyle. She always tries to wake me up or straight up sabotage me from sleeping. But that's not all. I'm home.
Welcome back. Dinner's ready.
Oh, that really helps. Thank you so much.
Cut the "that really helps" nonsense. Why are you home early to cook dinner for your husband?
She had work. It can't be helped.
You say work? But she was just slacking off, right? That's why you're always coming home so late.
That's not true. I'm doing the best I can.
Who knows? You can just say that, but you could always be playing around during work hours. Poor Hiroki, for marrying a girl like this.
Mom, will you cut it out? Why do you always say things like that?
Oh, what is it, Hiroki? I'm just expressing my true feelings. Don't you feel the same way?
Yes, I think you're totally in the wrong. Miss Adi, I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to strictly tell my wife to treat you better.
Huh? Why?
You're just saying mean things to Miss Adi, who's working so hard for this family.
I mean, you and Hiroki are already working, so...
You know that my job doesn't pay too well. You want a comfortable life for 4 people. It just isn't enough. If we're going to continue this behavior, we can just live separately.
No!
Please, I encourage you to do so. I'm sure Miss Ari can live more peacefully there.
Thank you. After this whole conversation, we decided to move out of the family home and settled into a new apartment complex that was pretty close by. At first, we thought it would be better to move to a farther place. My mother-in-law insisted she wanted to at least come around and see our faces once in a while. Plus, although he looks very energetic and young, my father-in-law is also getting old, and he's nearing his retirement year. We wanted to make sure we could quickly come around if something happens, so we didn't move too far away. Well, we did move out of his family home to start a new life. It's not like I'm gonna see my in-laws every day or anything.
Hiroki, dear, I've come around to give you some souvenirs.
Mom? What souvenir?
I bet Irie isn't cooking up anything decent, so I brought you some food. You love Mama's cooking, don't you?
Sure. I'm grateful for any extra food, but Ari's food is great, and I can cook too.
See? I knew it. I knew she was forcing you to do the cooking when it's supposed to be the wife's job.
It's something I'm doing on my own. We both work 9 to 5. It's clear that we have to work together.
But that doesn't mean...
Hello, Mother. I didn't know you were here again today.
Oh, you were there, Ms. Irie. I didn't notice at all. You don't have that much of a presence, don't you?
I see. This always bugs me, but why does she hate me so much? Did I do something to seriously piss her off?
Mom, can you please go home now?
What? Why? I just came over.
We both have night shifts tonight, and we need to get ready for work.
My, forcing Hiroki to stay up late to work? You're a failure as a wife.
This is the job I wanted to do. Now please, can you please go home?
Wait!
My mother-in-law tried to stay as long as possible, but Hiroki physically pushed her out of our apartment room.
I'm really sorry. My mom keeps coming around to visit. Gosh, why does she keep doing this?
It's fine. I guess she still thinks you're her cute baby.
But I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah, of course I know, but I need to convince myself that way, or else I can't bear talking to her. Despite us moving out of her house, my mother-in-law continued to visit us. She would at least visit us once a week. I mean, we could just ignore her, but even if we did, she would act even more aggressive the next time she would come around. She would ring the doorbell numerous times, and if we didn't open the door fast enough, she would yell at us for being too slow. She wouldn't give a single damn about the neighbors. It was the worst on the days I would be back home from my night shift.
Miss Irie, open up. I know you're in there sleeping. You're such a lazy woman. Such a terrible wife. Oh, you're finally awake. What time do you think it is? How long were you planning to sleep?
Excuse me?
Hiroki. Honey, you were home too?
It was me on the night shift yesterday. Ari's at work today.
I see.
And? What do you want?
I'm here to see you, Hiroki. I was wondering if you were doing well.
You just saw me last week.
I'm your mother. I'm always worried if you're eating properly.
Mom, can you seriously cut this out?
Huh?
Ari and I are getting really tired of this nonsense. Please, can you just stop showing up every day?
Oh, well, that's just because I care about you.
I know that's not true. You just don't like Ari, so you find every opportunity to bully her. She tells me that you always show up on the day she's back home from her night shift, and it's really getting to her.
She says she's on her night shift, but I know she's just fooling around. It's horrible to see her force you to do all the labor. You were on the night shift yesterday, right? What a horrible wife to make her husband work this hard.
Mom, you know that's just how my job is. I'm fully aware, and I'm okay with what my company expects me to do. Ari, too. She's a very hard worker, and she's doing her best at her workplace, too. I told you before, didn't I?
But that can't be.
Then can you prove to me that you saw Ari fooling around during her work hours late at night?
Well, no, but...
Then I think our conversation here is done. Can you just go home now?
What? No, I came all the way here to... Oh, how about we go out and have some tea?
Mom, I told you. I just got home from my night shift. Let me get some rest. I'm gonna go back to bed. So please, go home.
Okay, then.
And from now on, don't just show up without telling us beforehand. On the days after our night shifts, we're both really tired and we can't deal with things like this. Just let us know, alright?
Fine, then.
Hiroki briefed me on the situation after I came home that day. Mother-in-law had visited to bully me as usual, but she found herself coming face to face with her own son. What bad luck. She could have just texted one of us to ask if Hiroki was home or not. Well, she did, and she started to come around only on the days I was at home. Ugh! Why does she visit so often? This is getting so annoying! I didn't want to cause any friction between Hiroki and his relationship with his parents, so I kept quiet for a while. But the insomnia and stress levels were way too high, so I decided to talk to Hiroki about the whole situation.
Is Mom still doing this to you? I can't believe her. Let me call her right now.
Oh, Hiroki, what's the matter?
Oh, what's the matter, my ass? You're coming around to our place again, huh? Didn't I tell you to stop already?
What could you be talking about?
There's no point in acting like you don't know. I've heard everything from Ari. You're making sure that I'm not home each time you come around, right?
Well, Miss Irie's lying.
As if I would believe you. It won't be a second time. If you come around without an appointment again, I will cut ties with you.
No way.
If you don't want that, then don't come around anymore. I'll let Dad know about this too. Bye.
Wait, Hiroki.
Thank you so much. I think I can finally get some quiet time for myself.
I'm really sorry about my mother. She won't listen no matter how many times I tell her. But don't worry. The next time she does this, I'll be cutting ties with her once and for all. I'm always by your side, Ari.
Thank you. I guess things have finally calmed down. I'm so glad I have Hiroki by my side. If he was the type to be the mommy's boy, I would have been in deep trouble.
That bitch. To take my precious boy all to herself? I won't forgive her.
I had no idea how much my mother-in-law resented me for no apparent reason. From that day onwards, I was able to get proper rest after my night shifts, and I finally had my life under control. Then, one day, roughly a month after that whole drama with my mother-in-law,
Miss Ivory, wake up this instant! How dare you sleep like that when Hiroki is out working? Hurry and wake up and get to work!
What?
Huh?
Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?
Why? It's not Ms. Ivory?
I'm asking you. Who the hell are you?
I should be asking the same question. There shouldn't be any other men here aside from Hiroki. No, that's besides the point. Where's Ms. Ivory? Miss Ivory? What's going on?
Ma'am, please. I'm at the office right now. I can't keep answering your calls like this.
You're at the office? I thought it was your day off today. Hiroki told me so.
What? No, I'm working right now.
You're lying. Hiroki told me you were.
Huh? Are you talking about Hiroki, maybe? Because Hiroki should be off duty today.
Then why isn't Hiroki at home?
Oh, wait. Don't tell me. You're at our apartment again?
So what if I am? I'm supposed to be in your apartment room, but why aren't you home? And there was another man sleeping at your place. Don't tell me. Is that your secret lover? Are you having an affair?
Please, Mother, don't be so delusional. Of course not.
Then what's going on? Explain to me.
We moved out about half a month ago. That's why the room you're in is occupied by another person.
What? Why did you move to another place without my permission? Shouldn't you at least notify me beforehand?
Well, that's because you still show up without letting us know.
That's not true.
Then, can you explain to me why you're at the door to our former apartment room?
That's...
You came again without asking, right? Neither I nor Hiroki had any idea.
Well...
Oh, gosh. That's why we had to move out in the first place. If you were to ambush us like that again, we couldn't bear it.
Ambush? You surely don't have to phrase it like that. You should know that you've wedded into our household. Do you understand?
Of course, but I sure don't want to be the daughter of a mother who loves to bully her in-laws. I don't want to get involved with you anymore.
Fine then. If you want to get away from me, then you better divorce Hiroki.
What? Have you forgotten? Hiroki said the next time you visited our apartment without permission, he would cut ties with you. Doesn't this mean you've broken that promise?
That shouldn't count. Besides, moving out without telling me, that's not fair. I'm not at the doorsteps of your home, so this shouldn't count.
But then, what if we hadn't moved out? That would have been an instant no-no.
Well, that might be true. But besides, where are you two right now anyways? Hurry up and come back here.
Why should I? I'm at work.
You had the time to chat with me like this. I bet you're not even working. It's your fault that I accidentally barged into a stranger's room. You should come over here to apologize to this poor man.
It's you who stormed in, not us. I have nothing to do with this.
You say you have nothing to do with this, but you suddenly moved out, so it's your fault that this happened.
Well, it's Hiroki who gave me the idea of moving out.
He would never keep secrets from me, or do something horrible like this.
If you really think so, try asking him directly. By the way, how did you enter our former apartment in the first place?
Well, that's,
Hey, old lady.
What? I'm in the middle of a phone call, can't you tell?
I think there's something you had to do before that, eh? You barged into my own room without a single knock.
It's Ms. Ivory who has to apologize, not me. I did nothing wrong.
What? Are you even awake? You disturbed my peaceful slumber. You should know what you got yourself into, eh?
No, because I haven't, Eep!
Hey, give me your phone.
Ah! Hey, wait!
Hey, Ari, I could teach this old woman a hard lesson, right?
Yes, please. This man's name is Kita, and he's a mutual friend of Hiroki and I. He's a senior from our high school. He used to be in the wrestling team back in the day, so he's a big, buff guy. Any man would look up to a guy like him once in their lives. Kita told us that he changed jobs recently and was looking for a new apartment to stay in that would be close to his new office. We heard the news and immediately contacted Kita about our situation and asked him if he wanted to take our room in that apartment. This apartment is actually owned by my uncle, and I had talked to him about it in advance. He was totally chill with this idea, which helped a lot. I also asked Kita to teach my mother-in-law a lesson if she ever came around without prior notice. But I never knew she would come around to visit this early. Well, Kita does look like he could belong in a gang. That's how tough he looks. So I bet it would scare the living daylights out of her.
So there you have it. I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Why? You have nothing to do with our business.
Well, it sure is my business because you barged into my home without permission.
Kita, I trust you with this. Oh, and don't forget to call the police too. This is obviously trespassing.
Oh yeah, I've already done that. They should be here any minute now.
What? The police?
From the other side of the phone line, I heard the wailing sound of police cars approaching. I bet they were coming close, and they would almost arrive at the apartment.
No way! You actually called them?
Of course I would. You're a total stranger who trespassed into my own home. Why wouldn't I call the police on you right away?
Move out of the way! I don't know anything. I did nothing wrong.
Ah, hey, where are you going?
I did nothing wrong!
My mother-in-law attempted to make a run for it. Kita tried to catch her, but she literally jumped down a whole flight of stairs to his surprise.
I used to be the best athlete on my high school track team.
She triumphantly said as she casually jogged off. Kita truly did not expect her to act like this, so he was very taken aback for a moment. But come to think of it, Kita's room was on the 5th floor, which means my mother-in-law would have done the same routine on the same course 5 separate times. I'm sure you can guess what happened. Finally,
Ouch!
my mother-in-law had twisted her ankle and fell to her knees.
My feet! My feet!
Hey, old lady.
Please, take me. Take me to the hospital.
Oh, sure. They'll come around right away.
What? Oh, thank goodness.
Geez, you're not young anymore. Why would you do this?
Well, I wouldn't have done something like this if you didn't chase me around like that. And you even called the police on me.
I mean, what else could I have done?
Excuse me, who was the person who made the call?
Oh, that's me. This woman came barging into my room without permission.
What?
Can you please take her out right away?
Hold on, I'm injured. And you say I was trespassing, but
You did, though.
Can the both of you come into the office with me?
I won't. This man over here is just spouting nonsense.
You barged to the home of a man you don't know, and you're still pulling that lame story? And maybe you could check my room and look for your fingerprints or strands of your hair, eh? How do you like that?
Urk. But my son used to live there with his wife. So of course he would find my fingerprints.
What are you talking about? Of course I had people come in to clean the house when I moved in. There's no way that would be the case.
Well then, can you please head this way? Sir, if you could come too.
Ah, right. I guess so. It was my day off today. This is a total nightmare.
My mom sluggishly pulled her injured foot and headed to the police station. As she feared, she had broken her foot, so she would have to be in a wheelchair for a while. She said she was good at sports, but that must have been decades ago. And aside from her foot, she had a lot of problems regarding her health, and her body was pretty much giving up on her. Later at the police station, my mother-in-law insisted,
I was tricked by Miss Irie. Everything is her fault.
She kept repeating my name over and over again, pleading not guilty. So I ended up receiving a call from the police station during work, and I had to head there to give my story. Jeez, can this woman calm down for once? Things would be so much easier if she had just told the truth in one go. Hiroki and his father also had to show up to the police station, and they continued to ask what happened in that apartment, and general questions about my mother-in-law.
I truly didn't do anything.
Then how did you get into the room?
I received the key.
Well, that's strange. Your son tells me that he never gave you any keys to the home.
There's no way.
We did retrieve fingerprints from the key you owned, but it only consisted of your DNA. Nobody else had touched the key.
That's...
We're looking into it right now. But didn't you just make a spare key for the home? And your son and his family had no idea.
Ugh.
You see, madam, even if you were his true mother, what you're doing is still a crime. It doesn't matter how much you care for your son, but to see that you can't tell right from wrong, don't you think that's a bit pathetic?
The police officer gave her the hard truth, and my mother-in-law could only droop her head low in embarrassment. All of her lies were uncovered in the end, and she was arrested for trespassing. Oh, and regarding the spare key, according to her, she had made the key when we were still living in that apartment. She had stolen one of our keys and used that to make a copy. She said she kept it for emergency situations. But it still means she straight up stole our key for a while. This is such a horror story. After she was arrested, my father-in-law finally got sick and tired of this good-for-nothing woman and filed a divorce. I do think he would have wanted to divorce her, even if she wasn't put in jail though.
Kaida, thank you so much for your help.
Nah, man, it's fine. It was our promise from the start anyways. But to think she really had the spare key. To see such a delusional mother in real life? I only thought these things happened in the movies.
I know, right? When I first heard of the idea about the key from you, I thought, no way. But to find out she had actually done it? Well, I guess I'm not surprised, honestly.
But to think you didn't renew your key lock. What if something terrible happened to you?
But nothing did, right? From what I heard, I was pretty sure she wouldn't be the type to get violent or aggressive physically. Plus, I had nothing but benefits from this. I could get a lease to an apartment close to my new workplace. If I help you all out from the delusional mother, you will give me a discount on my rent.
We did cause you trouble. It's the least I could do.
Well, I sure am grateful for it. Hit me up if you ever need any help again. I'll be glad to be of service.
If that's the case, we would really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Man, we really were saved by Kita this time. But if something like this ever happens again, I want to be able to deal with things ourselves. Well, I mean, regarding my mother-in-law, I don't want to deal with her ever again. I never told her our new address, and the home security is much better compared to our last home. Even if she's out of jail, I'll never go out of my way to see her. My father-in-law had to move out of his home in fear of his ex-wife coming back to the family home after she's out of prison. To think he would have to start living alone at his age. We offered him the idea of living together, but he very politely declined. He insisted that he's already caused too much trouble, and he doesn't want to continue doing so. He even went out of his way to pay us consolation money for causing so much trouble. We kept telling him that he didn't have to do all this, but he refused to listen. He can sure be stubborn sometimes. But we made two promises, that he should find a home close to our new apartment, and we should dine out together once a week. Because we have our toxic ex-mother-in-law out of the way, we were able to reconnect and build a much healthier relationship. As for Mrs. Troublemaker,
My legs are sore. Why do I have to work in a crappy environment like this? They won't let me sit down. How horrible!
after being released from prison, my former mother-in-law began working at some far-off factory to pay for her living expenses. A side note here, the information is all from Kita, who was morbidly curious on how she was doing with her new life. Apparently, she wanted a more clean and proper job, but because she had no work experience after she got married, and that one single arrest record, nobody wanted to hire her. She had no other choice but to work at an oily, smelly factory. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay other work environments. They all have an important role to play in our society. And because of her injury from back then, she still has a bit of trouble moving about her workplace. It seems like her coworkers are a bit wary of her. I heard she's living a hard, cold, tough life all by herself.
Ah, I was in the wrong. I'll apologize, so please bring me back home. Come pick me up.
Achoo!
Bless you. Are you feeling sick?
I bet someone's talking about me behind my back.
Maybe your mom?
No! Do not speak of she who must not be named.
Right, sorry. I think of her as a dead person now, so...
Whoa, neat idea.
Well then, that's a farewell to you, Mother.